This is the SIG 556. It is the SWAT configuration and, as you can see, the SBR configuration with a 10-inch barrel. Let's get into it. But first, you know I gotta get the bag. All my affiliate links and discount codes are in my link tree in the description below. Now, let's talk about this thing. This is an American knockoff to a Swiss rifle, the SIG 550 series, so 550, 551, 552, 553, stuff like that. Yeah, this is an American knockoff of that. SIG could not import any of that stuff due to, oh my God, SIG could not import any of that stuff due to import laws and stuff like that. So they made a rifle for the American populace. Which included a new aluminum lower receiver, which takes AR mags, so regular STANAG. See, I got a PMAG right here, and it just goes right in. So they changed that up. They also they changed the handguard, and then I think they changed a couple other things, but you know, I didn't do a whole lot of research, so who cares? So as you can see, even though it does take AR mags, this does not have a charging handle. So all you AR guys that only know ARs, you're probably wondering, how does this work? Since it has a folding stock, where does everything happen? Well, this is more like an AK than an AR in any way. So it's a long stroke gas piston, just like the AK. So all the, everything that goes on with this rifle goes on right up here and in here. So, I mean, if I were to take this apart, you would see that the bolt actually looks a lot like an AK bolt. Yeah, this is, a lot of people might think this is an abomination. I don't know. But as you can see, it's got a side charging handle, just like an AK. You can go under like an AK. You can go up the top. You can take your primary hand, dominant hand, I don't know why I say primary. You can take your dominant hand, run it like that. I mean, yeah, but it also has a bolt release on this side. So unlike an AK, but more like an AR, it has a little bolt release right here that you can hit with your thumb. I actually think this is better than an AR though. So an AR is a paddle where you have to punch in. This is more of a lever. So whenever I insert a mag, it pushes this down. And so whenever you reinsert a mag, you go up with it. So you sort of, it's almost like a bad lever of sorts where you swipe rather than push. So this is a lot easier actually to hit, in my opinion. It is also ambi, so I can hit the safety on this side, and it's a 45-degree throw. Some of you guys pay a lot of money for that, and this actually just comes stock with it. But it does have a drawback because, as you can see, this pistol grip is an atrocious angle. When I grip this thing, I cannot reach. I mean, I don't have baby hands. I mean, I don't know, you guys can be the judge. I have size medium gloves on, but I cannot reach this safety lever without completely breaking my grip from this side and then hitting it and then readjusting my grip to put the trigger, or my finger back on the trigger. So I actually found it was much easier to use my thumb, almost like I'm shooting long range, where I can just come up and hit that. If I wanted to, I could wrap my thumb back around and then do this and then hit it like I hit any ambi safety with my index finger. But I don't know, I find it really weird that they made the safety selector so far, or made this such a harsh angle to where you can't reach it very easily. Like I said in the beginning, this is an SBR. It's I believe it's a 10-inch barrel. It could be 10.3. I'm not sure, but it is a 10-inch barrel with a folding stock here, and it even has a little sort of nub here that the stock can actually sit on. If I can get it to sit on it, there. And it's not going anywhere. So you really have to tug that to make it come out, but. And it is a collapsible stock, so I can go in. It's not a whole lot, so I think it's only 3 positions. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's only 3 positions, but it's a decent length of pull. I mean, this is exactly how I would have it on my rifle. It's just in the crease of my elbow there. So it's decent, but for some of you that want it really short, I don't know if that's going to be possible. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be dependent on whoever uses it, you know, but it's not 6 position like a lot of our other stocks. As you can see, this does have a quad rail on it. This actually makes this rifle a SWAT variant. So I don't know why they called it SWAT, but there we go. The SWAT just refers to a quad rail on the front. So if you see something with a regular polymer handguard and no rails, that's not the SWAT variant. So they also made a DMR variant at 18 inches, and they also made a Russian variant. So it takes AK mags and shoots 7.62 by 39. Actually, I don't know if it takes AK mags. I just know it shoots 7.62 by 39, but that's the, I think it's the SIG 556R, I think. Yeah, I don't know why they called it the 556R and it takes 7.62 by 39. I know that R stands for Russian, but I'm not sure why they continued the name 556. They also made a couple more variants. I believe they made a 556XI, which was an improvement over this. I'm not really sure how well that did. I know a lot of people really just wanted a 5.52 or 5.53. That's what people wanted, but unfortunately SIG would not do that. They were just dead set on making an American version, so that's what they did. But unfortunately, SIG discontinued the 5.56 series in 2017. So now it's nothing but a memory. As far as general reception, again, everyone just wanted the Swiss rifle. They just wanted that rifle because it's so cool. And I agree, it's so cool. But the reception of this was very meh. I think a lot of them had some issues with reliability. I think the overall build quality was very so-so. This one that we have here, again, this is an SBR. I really enjoy the way it shoots and it feels. It's definitely shooting, its recoil impulse is much harder than an AR-15. I say harder, like I could definitely tell it was bouncing around while I was shooting faster, and it was just a little harder to keep on target. Again, it's 5.56, so it's not, I'm not shooting 308 trying to make sure that recoil doesn't bounce, but it's just bouncier. And granted, that probably has to do a lot with it's a 10.3 and it's a long stroke gas piston, so all the recoil is going on up ahead. So yeah. So as some of you know, SIG didn't stop making gas piston systems just with this. They went on to make the MCX. So I think it's a little, this is a long stroke gas piston and the MCX is a short stroke gas piston. So it's a little different, but, and I couldn't tell you, I couldn't tell you what the internals, what the difference is. I just know one is long and one is short. This has sort of a hint of MCX in it. I don't know if they sort of got the idea. They're like, huh, maybe we could make an AR that people will see not as it's I mean, it won't be imitating our Swiss rifle. It will be sort of imitating an AR-18 or an AR-15 for those that don't know what an AR-18 is. So maybe they saw a market for that and just went, you know what, let's discontinue this long stroke gas piston system AK style rifle and let's make an AR-15 style rifle with AR-15 controls and an actual charging handle, and it still continued the ambi, so that's pretty nice. So when comparing to the MCX, I think they really nailed it with the MCX. But again, that probably took a lot more research, and as you know, SIG likes to beta test, so they've been probably trying out a bunch of different things all over the place. So as far as what I think about the rifle, I think it's very cool because it's different. It's not another AR-15, even though it takes AR mags and it has similar controls like the bolt release and the safety selector. Again, it's more like an AK where you have this side charging handle and it's long stroke gas piston system. But I think it's a decent shooter. It definitely projects fireballs being in this 10-inch configuration, as you'll see in some of the B-roll. The build quality is okay. The stock is a little wobbly. Everything back here is all polymer and plastic. I mean, you can probably hear this. Yeah, that's just the stock wobbling. And then the upper and lower, again, the tolerances are a little wobbly, so you can hear that. That's the lower and the upper sort of wobbling there. So that's a little concerning, but I mean, I'm still alive. I didn't blow up, so that's good. I like the little broom handle on here. This just came with it, and I didn't take it off. It fits the style of it pretty well. And as you can see, talking about style, I have an sort of older generation. I guess it's not older, but it's the larger generation of EOTechs on here. This is a EOTech 552. EOTech was very kind, and they sent me this optic specifically for this rifle. I didn't tell them I was making a review. I didn't tell them I was doing anything like that. I just sent them a picture of this rifle and said, hey, do you have any EOTechs laying around that you'd want to send out for marketing? I think it would look great on this rifle. So nothing was done there. I'm not doing a review on the EOTech. It looks great on this, I think. I think it really fits the aesthetic. And as you can see, I have a sling on here. I didn't put a QD mount on here. One, because I didn't have one. I went searching around my parts bin. I thought I had some, but I didn't. So, but two, I think it kind of, again, fits the aesthetic of sort of 90s vibe where you're just looping it through or you're just tying it off up here like I did this morning. But again, it's a Edgar Sherman design sling. I always use these. Edgar's awesome, and his crew really knows how to make stuff. One last thing before we go, the trigger. I'm sure you guys noticed in the B-roll, this is a funky looking trigger. It's very thick. It has an almost plunger back here. And it is adjustable. I haven't adjusted it or anything, but adjustable, I don't know if it makes it lighter. I don't know if it makes it harder, but I think you're able to set sort of a set wall where you're gonna hit that little plunger there. And now you know, you're like, okay, now it's just, I'm pulling all the way through. So I was able to get decent times with this trigger for a bill drill. I was hanging around 1.4, 1.5. I've gotten faster with AR-15 style triggers, but this is definitely not terrible. I've felt worse. I would equate it to, I would say it's close to a bullpup trigger. I really would. It's very spongy. And it's got a really weird sort of reset and take up. So I can just, I'll pull this out of the way. So there is where I hit the plunger, and then very mushy all the way through. And I can continue to pull back here because it's on that plunger. But the reset is, I mean, it's very interesting too, where it's not distinct like a click. I mean, you'll hear a click, but it's just sponge still. Yeah, it's very quick, but it's just sponge. I can go back into it. We'll do it one more time. Here we go. I'm pinned all the way back. That one was a little longer. Yeah, so it's very weird, very spongy, and I think it has to do with that plunger back there. But again, as you saw, I was able to get decent times with a bill drill, and you're still, I mean, able to shoot the rifle, so it's not absolutely useless. But yeah. So overall, this weird, funky AK-AR style type of rifle that's imitating another rifle from Switzerland, it's okay. I don't think it's bad by any means. It's definitely different, and it's different than what we have access to in our modern times right now. Again, we have AKs that we can buy all the time, but there's not a whole lot of AK-AR style sort of long stroke gas piston systems, especially things like this, where it's imitating a rifle from Switzerland. Yeah, I think it's very interesting, and it's not something that I would advise people get as a main fighting rifle. But I definitely think it's something. Yeah, so as always, I'll see you on the other side.